Oh, there we go. I was muted. I was fucking muted, guys. I'm an idiot. I am a professional retard. Okay, I was a bit confused there, but figured it out. I was muted. You'll love to see it. Okay. Off to a fantastic start. See, this is how this trial is gonna be. Complete fucking disaster. So, can you guys hear me now? Now that I've unmuted myself? I think you should be able to hear me now. Let's see. Okay, we're back. We're back. Everything's good. The stream is saved. Fantastic. Alright, as I was saying, while I was muted, my suspicions, and by the way, don't confirm or deny any of my suspicions, I'm just laying them out here. Yeah, that was something else. Yeah, I think it may have been Acrobat, but I don't think he was intending to kill, or not Acrobat, Acro, but I don't think he was intending to kill the Ringmaster. I think he was targeting Regina. That's why he gave her the note to try to lure her out to the murder spot. But, Regina, being a dumb bitch, ended up putting the note up in the cafeteria, and then the Ringmaster believed the note was addressed to him, so he went out and accidentally got murdered instead. As for the murder, I believe the bust was used as the murder weapon, as well as a stand-in to look like Max in order to frame him. If you just had the bust wearing the cape, it would look like Max, and you could have it like hanging on a string and then like pull it up and it looks like Max is flying away. It's also so yeah, like the Ringmaster gets to the spot, the bust swings down, hits him in the back of the head, kills him. Mo looks out the window and sees the bust wearing the cape. It looks like Max, it floats away. It all works out. The issue with those are that how would Acro get the Demi Fiend? He's been around for a bit, but I think this is the first time he's been in the chat, I believe. But yeah, it's great to have you. But yeah, the issues with that are a couple of things. First of all, how did Acro get the bust? Because he's in a wheelchair, he can't get in and out of his room without help. That's been established. However, we do know that his monkey can retrieve large objects for him. Now, we don't know if the monkey only goes after shiny objects or if Acro has the ability to, like, make the monkey get the items that he needs. If the monkey can get the bust, then that solves that issue. The other issue is that I can understand why he would hate Regina for what happened to his brother, but I don't think he has any grudge against Max, so I don't know why he would specifically choose to frame him. So honestly, I think Acro is my safest bet here. It's just a question of exactly how the logistics of the whole thing went down and his specific motivations for wanting to frame Max. But I guess that's what we're here to uncover. That's basically what I've been able to deduce up to this point. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, here we go. But yeah, let's just get started and see whether my predictions are completely off the mark. Probably. December 30th, 9:41 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 5. Did y'all play SMT? I've only played out of SMT. I've only played Persona 3, 4, and Digital Devil Saga. I have not played Nocturne yet, though I will be once the remaster comes out. I'm very excited. I've heard it's very good. Good morning, Max. Oh, yeah. Good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. Don't worry, I got this whole case solved. You're gonna go free. Just give me like an hour. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Teehee. Oh, Regina, what the fuck are you doing here? Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. That's a carton, but sure. Regina? Oh, fabulous! My sweetie pie princess! You came to watch my performance today? Of course I did! Mo told me that I should come and watch this! Mo said that. Intriguing. Why does Mo want her here? Does Mo have some clue of what's going on and is trying to get her here so that maybe we can force her to testify? She might have valuable evidence. Yeah. SMT3 was called Nocturne in the West, but I believe in some regions where it was released, it was only known as Shin Megami Tensei 3. In some regions, it was known as Nocturne, and in some regions, it was known as Lucifer's Call. So yeah, it's the same game, yeah. So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end. It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on or even where she is. Yeah, I do prefer Lucifer's Call over Nocturne, but I think they're both really good titles. Huh. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. Well, I mean, the game is pretty niche and pretty hard to boot from what I've heard. I mean, the whole SMT series isn't that popular with the exception of the Persona spin-off. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick? Top of the morning to you. Everybody, let's get ready to get into a legal limbo. How low can you go? Mo, what are you doing here? Top of the morning to you, Governor. Top of the morning? Why is short Jacksepticeye over here? Okay. Here's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with the energy of the morning. The early bird gets the worm, but and again, worms like higher brain function. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk. He really does love milk, doesn't he? I mean, yeah, it's not that it's not bad. It's just still pretty niche. At the game. Oh my, thanks. So, how are you today, right? Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. He's got guts to spare. All I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is. I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can press other witnesses. What are you going to do then, Nick? I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Oh boy! And the stakes instantly rise! It looks like this is gonna be a game of contradictions. Pressing ain't gonna do fucking shit. Alright, better have all our evidence lined up and ready to go. Here, I'm just gonna quickly just skim through the court record, make sure I'm familiar with everything, you know, because it has been a couple of days. So yeah. Okay, attorney's badge useless, Magatama useless. Crime scene photo. Again, one set of footprints. Makes me think it was the bus, because bus doesn't have feet. Makes sense. Whatever killed him, it was flying. There was no other person there. And the box was probably used to lure him to the... You know, if the box was on the ground from the start, which that's what it would seem, I don't think he was carrying it. No one said they saw him carrying it. The box was likely used to get him to the exact spot where he would be hit on the back of the head with the bust. So that makes sense. Anyone who said Nocturne sold bad is looking at the big picture mainstream. I mean, I'm not saying it's sold bad, but it certainly isn't a mainstream game. Like, it's certainly very niche, but it wasn't a bad sale at all. Later order hat, Max is fabulous, found at the crime scene. Again, the bust has its own hat. Makes sense why the hat would be there, especially if the Ringmaster had the hat with him. It would get knocked down. Ringmaster's papers, right, that's just salary negotiations. Promo poster, that's not useful except for the fact that, you know, an example of his outfit. Broken bottle, the instigation that Acro didn't know about, so he doesn't know what happens in the cafeteria, which means he wouldn't know that Regina just posted up the note and then the Ringmaster grabbed it, so he wouldn't know who actually went out that night. Map of the circus. Again, Acro is right there. The murder took place right here-ish. If Acro's room is here, he would have been able to set up some kind of like rope system if he needed to. Right here. Let's see. Money the Monkey, again, habitually gathers shiny objects, but we don't know if he can grab anything heavier than that at Acro's command, but he might be integral to this crime scene if he was actually used to obtain the bust. Leon, the animal shows lion, shot by the Ringmaster. Shot by the... SF is up there? I don't know what you're saying. What is SF? I'm not familiar with that abbreviation, I guess. Leon, again, that's the motive. Autopsy report. Yeah, blunt force trauma to the back of the head. If he got whacked in the back of the head by the bus, that works out. Wooden box. Again, it probably used to lure the victim to the right spot. Arnold says, yeah. Small seasoning bottle found inside the wooden box. The victim was punched over. It contains pepper. Yup, again, the evidence that he was talking about, the Grand Prix photo. I mean, there's the bust in its full splendor. And as we can see, it doesn't have any roses on it. It has the hat. It works out perfectly fine. The note, again, to the murderer. You haven't forgotten what happened 6 months ago, have you? I took conclusive evidence. Meet me. Yep, okay. That makes sense. It's him trying to lure out the victim to the spot where he's gonna kill them. However, the note ended up in the Ringmaster's hand, so the wrong person ended up getting killed. And he's just like, 50,000 lifetime cells? I don't know. You know? I mean, at the end of the day, something like niche is really just a subjective definition, and I'm not hating on Nocturne, not by a long shot. I think it's a great game, from what I've seen. It's just, you know, it's certainly not mainstream, and I guess it just depends on what your definition of niche is. And yeah, I mean, those cards don't look like they're actually part of the bust. If you were to just remove the cards, the bust would make for a fine murder weapon. Especially with the sharp edges at the bottom. As for the profiles, Maya, Max, Ben, important witness, he saw what could have been the bust, but nah, he would have noticed that they were floating, so that was probably the Ringmaster dressed up as Max. The gumshoe, your local precinct, the initial, yeah, useless. The daughter, I believe she was the actual victim, well, the person Acro was targeting. Russell, and Ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus between his Berry Big father, yep, the actual victim. He was probably there by accident on it, in all honesty. Lawrence Kurz, the Ringmaster's old friend, a pleasant student of the clan, yeah, he's nice. Ken Dingling, yeah, probably the murderer, and that's also part of the... Alright, well, I guess, I think I'm pretty refreshed on the facts. Today, we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth. I mean, as I've been saying, I do think it's really your, definition of what you can consider niche. And I don't think niche is a bad thing. But yeah. You're right, it's gonna be tough. I mean, personally, before I started playing Persona, I had no idea Shin Megami Tensei even existed. Like, I'd never even heard the name, so... You know, I would definitely say it's pretty niche. Even if it has it definitely has a very dedicated fan base, don't get me wrong. And it's not small, but that... I mean, yeah, again, it goes back to the fact that it all comes back to your definition of niche. I mean... You're right, but it's gonna be tough.
Anyway, I wanted you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. And she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father.
You want to make sure Regina watches?
Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today.
What's that supposed to mean?
She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars.
Oh shit, Mo! Coming in with the fucking hard-ass, like, teaching Regina a lesson here. I mean, if he's figured it out and has come to the same conclusion that I have, that Regina was actually the intended target, I mean, I guess there is a lesson for her to learn here. Sales. All right, December 30th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 1. I mean, personally, I would classify anything that isn't mainstream as, niche. That's just, I have a very broad definition of what niche is. So, you know, SMT is definitely not mainstream, I guess. Nocturne did sell pretty good, but I still wouldn't consider it a mainstream game, so I would personally consider it niche. That's not to say SMT isn't fantastic. I love SMT, all the games that I've played. I mean, mostly I've played Persona, but I've also played Digital Devil Saga, and I enjoyed that one tremendously. Everyone plays JRPGs, heard of SMT? I mean, yeah, that's probably true. I've looked into the history of SMT, and it does seem like it's been pretty pivotal in the history of JRPGs. But yeah, I mean, JRPGs themselves aren't exactly that big of a market, and those that are, it's mostly just the Final Fantasy series, really, that's really mainstream out of JRPGs.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well, Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your case.
The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events.
What's the meaning of this?
We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off the scene of the crime. I mean, Narukami, you do have an SMT character as your, you know, YouTube account, so... And also, there's no bigger port beggars than Persona 5 fans. Million times more. I've barely ever seen any SMT fans port beg. Persona 5 fans, though, oh dear lord.
Order, order! I had a feeling something like this would come up.
Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need arises. In fact, my detectives stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Poor Gumshoe, that man really can't catch a break.
Very well. Please call your witness to the stand.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Demifiend here. I mean, the whole break-free Persona thing? Oof. Time to get to work, or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Alright, Acro. Let's put you to the fire. Name and occupation.
Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Berry Big Circus.
Where were you the night of the crime?
I was in my room that night.
If you look at the map, you can see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed?
Okay.
Alright. What I witnessed. Let's see.
It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by the window.
Also, Narukami, SMT fans aren't the ones that are jealous. It's Persona fans that are jealous. I mean, I remember the fallout from the Nintendo Mini Direct when they gave some more info on SMT 5. All of it was just Persona fans crying and complaining that SMT was getting on the Switch before Persona 5 was. It was hilarious.
And then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like.
Right.
To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming.
The witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown.
If that's the case, there's very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night. Okay, before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. Who's the fool? Like, I'm pretty sure you're just using that word for fun now. A man must know the proper timing of things, Mr. Phoenix, right? Just like your old friends, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did.
You take that back! Oh, you take that back right now!
Oh no. Oh no, you do not talk bad about my boy Edgeworth. Alright, let's absolutely humiliate her and drag her across the mud.
Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony?
In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened.
Very well, you may proceed with the cross-examination.
Alright, let's take her down a peg. Alright. Keep the conversation civil. Oh. There we go. Where is this? Okay, nope. Narukami, that is crossing a line. Sorry, but, that is gonna have to result in a timeout. Give me timed out 5 minutes. Don't take it personally. Or try to clean up this chat. Again, don't, keep the conversation civil. And no fucking slurs, please. So, yeah. Let's see. 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. I heard a large thump from outside the window. That makes sense. 2 minutes later, I saw someone flying right by the window. Max Galactic, I only saw him from behind. That's what he looked like, to be honest. I saw that. I thought I was dreaming. Alright, well, can we get some more info? Light in your room was turned off then, right?
That's true. I was going to bed after all.
So, with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. Yeah, sadly I have to, start enforcing stuff, fairly now that I actually start having people in the chat, so, it's, this is the kind of stuff that has to be done, so just mind what you say. Just, no, personal insults like that. Just keep the conversation civil, that's all I ask.
See, the safety lights lit things up enough for me to see.
It was indeed the N-word, and a couple of other things. But the N-word, I think, was the primary reason why I timed him out.
But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on front.
Did you see any other sort of symbols?
I clearly saw the silk hat as well as the cloak wrapped around the body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica.
The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. Maybe there was something fishy in his latest bit of testimony? Huh. Alright, I need to hear that again.
What's the matter, Mr. Wright?
Nothing, Your Honor. Until I can find a clear contradiction, I better not overdo it. Alright, we're gonna... is this a visual novel? Alright, give me a second. Akira must be lying about what he saw, right? Of course he is. Now the challenge will be to expose his lies in court. Well, put the pedal to the metal, Nick. Yeah, this is a visual novel, where you essentially, you solve a murder and debate, you try to get your client off in court, you're investigating the murder, but yeah, it is a visual novel. It's probably one of the more popular visual novel series, actually, if I had to guess. But yeah. Although most of the gameplay consists of either investigating or, trying to find contradictions in people's testimony. Let's see if we can dig some more details out of him, because that's usually where the contradictions will lie, not in their prepared statements. You like playing visual novels? I very much do. I love visual novels. A lot, yeah. You said that you were resting in bed? One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct?
That's correct, but there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright, sometimes it makes it hard to sleep. They get loads of hate. Oh, I personally love visual novels, and it's a murder mystery game to boot. I love murder mysteries.
If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains?
I never really thought of that. I guess it means I'm off to buy some curtains.
Ha! Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Ow!
The witness will proceed with his testimony.
People arguing if they were considered games and not an ebook?
Yeah, that's just dumb.
Anyone who thinks a visual novel isn't considered a game is a fucking idiot. That's my 2 cents on the issue. Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes.
And you said that you were resting in bed?
That is correct.
But you were still able to hear a sound from outside.
I was indeed.
Pressing acro doesn't seem to get results. Huh, but maybe there's a contradiction in what he said right now?
Alright.
What's the matter, Mr. Wright?
Nothing. Okay, so we gotta find the contradiction, and in the meantime, all we can do is press them and find the contradiction. So we gotta press them and find a contradiction. That's what we gotta do. So we gotta pay real close attention to what he's saying here. Alright, can we get the thump once again? 3rd floor, that makes sense, yes. Resting in bed, that is correct. Able to hear sound from outside. Indeed. I don't think there was a contradiction there. Oh, Narukami's back. Hey, welcome back. I mean, you did say the N-word, so that's the reason why you got timed out. Just don't, you know, do that. Arguing is perfectly fine. You know I'm perfectly fine with arguing. A few moments later, saw someone flying right by my window. Alright. Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin, or perhaps a large action figure? Or a bust? Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix, right? Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if we were there with you that night. I believe it was a human. Yeah, I just strengthened his testimony. I wonder if Acro's statement jives with the facts. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Alright, let's try again. Let's try something else. Max Galactica. Let's see, we already read this. Yeah, now, but, you weren't here, for the Persona stream, last Sunday. We made the decision to ban, slurs like the N-word. I have no idea where Akahiko is. He hasn't shown up today yet. And your room was turned off then, right? That's true, I was going to bed after that. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. Safety lights lit things up for me to see. The safety lights could also be where the ropes were tied to, if that's what we're going with. Honestly, there's only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Okay.
Did you see any of the others?
Actually, why am I reading this in voices? I already read this. I saw the silk hands off the cloak draped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. Intriguing. That seems like it might be the shakier bit. Oh yeah, he did say something about a hospital appointment. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, he did say something along those lines. Alright, he said he was dreaming. When did you start thinking about what you saw wasn't a dream?
Objection!
That's not important.
Objection!
I believe that the prosecution has done a bit of maintenance on the witness's memory.
Just to make sure, let's ask the witness. Ow!
Objection!
Sustained?
Don't sustain that! Acro must be lying about what he saw, right? Of course he is.
Now the challenge will be to expose his lies and... Oh, okay. She seems rather defensive about that last bit of testimony, doesn't she? I thought I was dreaming. I don't think we have anything that we can use to prove that, honestly. Money the Monkey Leon, autopsy box, blood pressure, note, Max G bust. Alright, we're just gonna have to go for it. We're gonna have to try to spot a contradiction. Here, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Let's see. That doesn't help us. Oh, there we go. I figured it out. Yeah, the silk hat shouldn't be on. Let's press on Max Galactica. And that's true. Yep. He does mention the silk hat, doesn't he? So can see any other symbols. Silk hat as well as the cloak right here. I mean, personally for me, the story is my favorite part of any game. And interesting characters as well. So I personally love visual novels and like their heavy story focus. I just love, especially when we have like this type of thing where it's like a murder mystery, like trying to pick out the clues from what people are saying and you know the clues and you know putting everything together and figuring out how everything went down. I just love that kind of stuff. All right, there we go. The silk hat shouldn't have been on his head. We know that much. There's something. Yep, there was a contradiction. There's a huge contradiction in the testimony that was just given.
Objection!
If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence.
She's right. Let's see some evidence.
Do you have any evidence to support your claim of contradiction? Well, I believe it's the silk hat. But I'm just gonna quickly check to make sure it's nothing else. Yeah, it should be the silk hat, I believe. Which is the same contradiction we caught Mo on, which I don't think he's actually lying about that, mind you. I just don't think it was the silk hat.
Take that!
You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw last night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat! What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I am in. Just looking outside the window was tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the Ringmaster's hat, right? No. Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. Does the Ringmaster wear a hat? I don't know. He's not wearing one in any of the pictures I've seen. Alright. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat.
Ooh, where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has 2 silk hats?
No, this is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means Acro, the person you saw, didn't have, you know, he wasn't wearing Max's silk hat. It was either the bust or they were wearing some completely different hat. That you've been fibbing on the stand. Or I guess he's fibbing on the sit. God, that's so fucking bad.
Order! The defense will not make any jokes about the witness's health condition.
Objection!
As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today?
He has a grudge against Max. From what we've seen, I don't believe he does. Acker was dreaming. Again, that was a suggestion, but if he was dreaming, the facts wouldn't line up as well as they do with Mo's testimony.
So these two, we don't have any way to back these two up. I think going for Acro as the real culprit is really the only way we can take this right now. Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion...
Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Did he steal my sandwiches?
Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry.
Mr. Wright, are you serious?
Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trips to the circus have served you well enough. You seem to have learned how to try and grab an audience's hearts and minds. And yeah, visual novels are much more than just pressing a button, you know? I mean, in this game, the whole gameplay, for example, is, you know, figuring out the facts. And just because a game is a visual novel, it doesn't mean it's just a visual novel. I mean, Persona 4, which we are currently playing, is by definition a visual novel. But you cannot deny that it also has some amazing JRPG gameplay. So, the visual novel is not only a visual novel, it can be other, you know, genres as well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at the audience's hearts and minds. What is this? What are you playing at? Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book.
Really?
If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. I mean, sure, about half of the time is spent in the dungeon, you know, battling shadows, but the other half, you're just talking to your friends. I mean, it's hard to argue that Persona 4 is not a visual novel, or any of the Persona games for that matter. I mean, most of the game is literally just talking with people, isn't it? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to be almost scary. He is staying rather calm and collected. I mean, he is an acrobat, so... yeah. I mean, it's not that I'm saying it's not a JRPG. It most definitely is. I'm just saying that a game can be both a JRPG and a visual novel at the same time. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive.
Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusation?
I don't really need to say a thing, do I?
What do you mean?
Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house.
That's true!
I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of murder of all things...
See, even a sliver of common sense would make it clear that the accusation is ludicrous.
That's right, way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man!
Phoenix is a poopy head! Is that all you can come up with? See that, Mr. Phoenix, right? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, then that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro's unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. You're right. He can't stand, but from what we've seen, our culprit can't either. Our culprit left not a single footprint on the scene of the crime. Therefore, standing is not a prerequisite for someone being the culprit. Maybe the defense is planning to make a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice.
Oh, what do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice?
The monkey. It's impossible for Acro to be the murderer in this case. If that's the case, then it's natural for one to consider possible accomplices.
You don't say!
Not good, not good. This isn't going to end well. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off this easy. What? You must not have heard the sound just now. Maybe it wasn't clear enough. The sound of you falling into your own trap can be hard to notice sometimes.
Mr. Wright, it seems as if you won't be stopping Acro, but will be making other accusations. If Acro did not have an accomplice, things are not looking good for you.
I understand, Your Honor. I agree with Demi-Fiend right here. I mean, I would say Persona 4 is definitely a visual novel. I mean, it has so much. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone could call it not a visual novel with the amount of conversations you do. I mean, the entire social link system is just visual novel 101. I understand, Your Honor.
Very well, let's continue. Who, perchance, would happen to be Acro's accomplice?
Okay.
I mean, it could be Ben. It could be Ben. It is a possibility that I haven't ruled out. Because Ben did provide crucial testimony that could quite possibly be faked. I don't know. I just don't know. Thing is, I don't think Ben would have a reason to murder Regina, obviously. I believe the accomplice might just be the monkey. Going off on a limb here.
Let's see if I'm right.
You don't say!
Uh-oh, this is suddenly looking very, very bad.
Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy. What?
Oh, did you? Oh, fuck. Oh, it just keeps looping? Do you have any proof that this person you've accused was indeed an accomplice? Shit. So I've accused the monkey. Do we have any proof, though? In photo, silk hat, ringmaster papers, promo poster, broken bottle, circus map, money of the monkey, layown, Russell's autopsy report, wooden box, small seasoning, Rampre note.
The bust?
I'm stumped here. I am completely stumped here. Box. You won't even be able to carry the box. Yeah, I have no idea what to do here. Shit. Bust. Alright, let's take this one evidence at a time. This is evidence that the monkey grabs things. Is this a meme? Yeah, it's been a meme in the chat recently. Attorney's badge. I mean, it proves that the monkey can grab stuff, but it doesn't prove that he can control it. Night time, a crime scene photo, silk hat, papers, promo poster, broken bottle, circus map, the monkey, autopsy report, wooden box. Yeah, I think we've fucked this one up already. Maybe my attorney's badge?
Mr. Wright!
Yes, Your Honor.
This piece of evidence is lacking in persuasive power.
You didn't miss the sound, did you, Mr. Wright? You know, the sound of you receiving a penalty.
God damn it.
What are you doing, Nick?
Acro have an accomplice. I guess, let's say he didn't.
Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice.
Not this time, Von Karma.
What?
You're not going to sucker me into this one.
Ooh, what are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright?
There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed the murder all by himself. I mean, I guess I could get away with saying the monkey was an accomplice and that's the way I had to go, but yeah, okay. If we're not considering the monkey an accomplice, I guess technically he didn't have an accomplice. Okay, I understand.
Me and the game have this. I'm on the right track. I just thought the game might consider the monkey an accomplice, considering we've literally had a monkey testify before. But we'll see.
Order! What are you getting at?
Way to keep them on their toes, Nick.
Now I'm gonna have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry.
Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do it?
I know I can do it. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed.
All right, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix right. If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, correct? I mean, not necessarily all of it. Some parts of it might be accurate, actually.
Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me.
I mean, it's usually easier to, lie on certain bits as opposed to, making up the whole thing for it.
When the crime was committed.
Oh, fuck. I didn't read the question. Where was he? In his room, probably.
He was obviously here the entire time.
That's Acro's room.
Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. Yeah, I assume that he was asking, where Acro was at the time? Because I didn't actually read what the question was, but if that's the question, yeah, he was in his room. Because we know that he can't get in and out of his room without someone else's help. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the Ringmaster. What? Are you nuts?
Oh, what say you, Mr. Dingling?
It's an interesting theory.
That's it?
Consider what you propose is impossible. Yes, that is.
I mean, it's less of an insult and more like a light roast, I guess you could say. You know? It's mostly just funny.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
as the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he's in a wheelchair, there's no way he could go to the scene or be the killer.
I mean, you say everyone uses it in Narukami, but it's really just you and Akihiko, and, Owen joined in, once. You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant is clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he?
That's where you're wrong, kiddo!
But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly.
Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright?
What is it?
I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume.
How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet. Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here... She's right. I can't mess up here. Honestly, I don't know where the POV thing came up. I mean, you and Akihiko were just in the chat one day for the Persona streams, and they just started doing it. So I don't know where it came from. She's right. I can't mess up here. I gotta give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the Ringmaster, and he did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it.
Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed this crime, Mr. Wright.
Are we in a position to go straight for it? That I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's review our evidence. Silcat, papers, promo poster, broken bottle, circus map, monkey. Okay, so the monkey could be a possible situation on how he obtains the bust. However, we haven't established yet that the bust was used in the murder, so presenting the monkey is useless here. Good to know. The wooden box was used to lure the Ringmaster to the correct location. However, that only works if we've established that he was then that was part of some elaborate scheme, you know?
Never heard of it before. Aki, you were messing it 2 weeks ago on Persona 4 stream. I had the idea of POV. Probably were the first ones. No, that's interesting. I guess yeah. This is a Team Buster chat exclusive. I guess. Damn. I thought it was like an inside joke that like you two had. I guess it started, you know, the birth of a meme, you could say. Small seasoning bottle, inside the wooden box. The victim's hunched over that. Doesn't matter. View photo. Anything here? Not particularly. It has to be the bust, right? I mean, if the, but it could be the note as well. Because I believe the bust is what was actually used as the murder weapon and as the stand-in for Max. However, the note is what actually ties back to Acro. It could be either one, but I'm not sure if I want to present something just this moment. I don't think I have anything really that conclusive. But I guess we can try. I'm going to present some evidence.
So, what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of the murder against Russell Berry?
He used the bust.
What's that? A picture?
It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture.
The bust?
It's quite a large bust. And because it is life-sized, it is also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Ah. Yep. See? This is how Acro was able to kill the Ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. Well, Narukami, did you start it or did Akihiko start it? Because, if Akihiko started it, he may have, you know, done that before somewhere. It might be like something from like a different community he's part of, you know? With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. Maximilian Galactica's ample bust! Oh, we're doing phrasing now, I see. Right, of course. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. That is one sexy man. Let's see. Broken bottle. Alright, let's just continue.
Order, order! So you're saying that the bust fell on the Ringmaster?
Oh, rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in the wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible. Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. Play Monster Hunter World Capcom? Ah! A lot of Monster Hunter World players have been watching my streams recently. Terra as well. He isn't here today though. I don't think so, at least.
Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges?
Well, Acro's at a loss for words. He should be. He knows I'm getting close to the truth. But he's an acrobat, so he's good at keeping his cool, which makes him a formidable foe. Ow! I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I actually haven't played Monster Hunter World in a long time. It's just, you know, I don't have that much time for those kinds of games, you know? I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say?
Von Karma. She's just using this testimony as a rouse to stall for time. There's absolutely no need for such testimony. The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has a right to respond. Are you gonna be cross-examining now?
The defense's objection is overruled.
Why can't he see things my way for once in a while?
Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him.
Thank you. Ah, that woman will sink to any low to win a case.
I haven't actually played Iceborne myself.
I've played the base game, quite a bit of it actually, but I never got around to playing Iceborne because I stopped playing long before it came out. Acro's physical state. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out that window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body.
Yes, but you wouldn't have
To,
actually see where he was in order for the bust to land in the right spot. Because you placed that godforsaken box as a marker so that he would be standing right in front of it. You would have known exactly where he was standing.
That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the Ringmaster's head.
You're asking about my name?
My name is Joaquin, you know, like, Joaquin Phoenix, kinda. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the Ringmaster's head.
Oh, but you did, you sly bitch!
Thus, it would have been unrealistic for me to drop the bus on him.
What a weaselly little liar, dude! He's still lying! Then I'm gonna tell this man that he's lying to the whole court?
I have no doubts in regards to the witness's testimony.
It is impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. When I used to play Monster Hunter World, I played Insect Glaive. I also like a hammer though. Here, I'll type it out in the chat for you. Give me a second. Yeah. That's how it's written. That's how it's written. You should probably see it in the chat a little bit before. Let me head back there. Give me a second. Not to mention, I am from Uruguay in Latin America. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. A single false step would lead to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright?
I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. Yeah, Uruguay, Latin America. I can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. Yeah, it's a very common Spanish name.
Thought you were from Britain?
Nah, mate.
Acro's physical state.
Accent? Yeah, it's just... I learned... English is actually my second language. My first language is Spanish. So, I mean... I would say my accent is probably closer to American than British, but I have picked up a lot of stuff from Britain. You know, like, I say mate a lot, for example, and I usually say Z instead of Z. You know, because I didn't grow up in the United States, I was mostly exposed to United States English. That's how I learned, so my accent is mostly American, at least that from what I think. But I have picked up some stuff from Britain as well, because I watch a lot of British TV as well. Acro's physical state. Thank you. I mean, second language, but I've been learning it for a while. I mean, I believe I started learning English back when I was in, like, first grade. So it's not like I've known English for, like, 3 years. I've known English for most of my life. But, it's still my second language, and I did learn it in a non-English speaking country, so of course it's... gonna sound a bit different from, a regular American English.
I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong enough... Okay, yeah, we've already read this.
The issue is... It makes it impossible for me to know the Ringmaster's head location. Bullshit! Why do you say it would have been impossible?
Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see below the window. What is this Ben Shapiro arguing shit? You accept...
You accept that if, hypothetically, I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window, yes? Well, then, in that situation, we have to assume that I would not be able to know where the Ringmaster's head, and thus I would not be able to drop the head on his. Therefore, we would have to agree that I could not be the murderer. You agree?
What is this fucking Ben Shapiro shit? Thus, there's no way that I could know the location of the Ringmaster's head.
Well, I suppose you've got a point. Hey, Nick! Huh? What if you turn things around? Maybe think it like this. If he knew the location of the Ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust.
Thank you. Thank you. You clearly are a fae. Twisting the logic around like your sister did is
yeah. Don't try to prove, that he could know the location of the Ringmaster's head. Assume that he did know the location of the Ringmaster's head, and then explain how. That does make sense, if only I could prove somehow that Acro knew the location of the Ringmaster's head without looking down. Well, he did. Korea. I haven't actually been to Korea, but I've heard it's a lovely place.
I think I've already explained things sufficiently.
Okay. Strong enough to lift up the bust. The main problem is how he could have aimed for the Ringmaster's head. I wonder if he used some kind of tool to aim for the Ringmaster. That's the ticket, Nick. Show them what you've got. I have to be careful. I have to find something that fits perfectly with the case. I don't remember us finding any sort of tool. Maybe we overlooked something. If we're looking for a tool, maybe some kind of mirror that he could have used to see where the Ringmaster was? Wait, Narukami, aren't you Japanese? I thought you said you were. Okay. Let's see, what do we got? Photo, that's fine. I mean, I guess we could try to use the box, but we'll see about that. Silk hat, Ringmaster's papers. My current thought is the box was pre-positioned so that he would know exactly where he was. But yes, if he had to use a, an actual tool to see the Ringmaster, I suppose Monkey could have seen it. Let's report wooden box, Grand Prix photo, note, bust. I'm gonna try the box. Oh, actually, before I lose any health, let me go ahead and save, because I don't want to have to restart everything. Okay. My guess is the box. Let's see if that works. Here for months, like Persona, yeah. Acro, Narukami Blizzard Adventure number 6. Oh, you've been here since the 9th episode? Holy shit, you've been around for a lot longer. Damn, than I thought. Yeah, I thought you were around for maybe a month or two. Shit. Man, that was a while ago. Glad to have you, man. I'm glad you've stuck around for so long. Acro, you didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you?
What are you driving at, Mr. Wright?
You already knew ahead of time where the Ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add.
Objection!
Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Wright. Enough stalling! How about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting.
Yes, hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright.
Maybe you should take a look at this. I guess we could have presented this one as well. The key point here is the wooden box.
The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over.
The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the Ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box, which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime.
I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense.
then the moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the moment that the Ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear.
You mean, if the bust were to fall upon the point marked by the wooden box,
There would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim.
no.
Yes!
Order! This is unbelievable.
Yeah, the chat was really empty back then. I mean, personally, the stream has evolved a lot, you know, in like the last few months. So like, I honestly find it kind of surprising that we had any kind of, you know, consistent viewers that actually stuck around from back then, dude. But yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Also, hey, I mean, don't laugh at the dude in the wheelchair. That man is a fucking murderer. And an unbelievably smart one at that.
Order! This is unbelievable.
But yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad that you find me entertaining. I try. Finally, some of those loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep it going. And there's only one way to go from here. Forward.
So the next question I have is, who placed the wooden box at the scene?
It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow! Allow me to whip some sense into you. Mr. Phoenix Wright! Ow! The Ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box is so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. The weight, the size, the content. Let's take a look at that box once again here. Let's see. Hunched over this 20-pound box, it boasts a small but strong lock. I mean, the only distinctive, thing here would have to be the, oh, look! Demi-Fiend has learned how to use POV! Perhaps his power is too great now. Victim hunched over, but small. I guess it has to be the weight. I mean, there's nothing else really that significant about it, is there? And, alright, let's try the weight. You think Yahweh could stand up to the power of Demi-Fiend's POV skills? I don't think so. One more god rejected. I love that song. I love Fierce Battle. It's so good. All the SMT battle themes are really good, but my favorites are probably Fierce Battle, Mass Destruction, and whatever the Digital Devil Saga one is called. I don't remember what it's called. The box has a remarkable weight. Weight?
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds.
Just to lift up this wooden box would have required, yeah, you would need a, you know, you can't lift it up with one hand. You actually have to, like, lean over and grab it, you know?
Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and lift up with their body, wouldn't you say?
Especially someone with the Ringmaster. Someone like the Ringmaster who doesn't exactly seem like the most physically fit person, you know? The town battle theme, boss battle theme, and especially the Dante theme is amazing in SMT Nocturne. I haven't played Nocturne, so the only one that I do know is Fierce Battle, and I love it to death. I also really like the Digital Devil Saga one. I definitely will. I love the Digital Devil Saga one because I love the electric guitar work on the Digital Devil Saga battle theme is fantastic. And then Mass Destruction and what's the final boss one in Persona 3? The Battle for Everyone's Souls. Oh, god damn it, I love the Battle for Everyone's Souls. Although, to be fair, I love everything in Persona 3's OST, so... That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large.
The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it?
Oh, that is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means no matter who you are, your head would be approximately in the same place. Fool! What about Nocturne's controversy? I mean, I'd assume a game... Does he even have to bother to listen to me anymore? I mean, yeah, I'd assume a game with the name Lucifer's Call, in which the whole point is, like, rejecting God and, like, helping Lucifer destroy the world is, like, that's bound to be pretty controversial, I'd say. But I haven't heard any of the specifics of it. Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you've had to say. Oh, damn it. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Oh, they've carried me this far, haven't they?
Did you place this wooden box in the plaza?
Mr. Wright might have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. You haven't forgotten what happened 6 months ago. It's conclusively take the lodging house plaza.
That's a fucking admission of guilt if I've ever seen one.
The 2006 Christian gaming servers?
I mean, I'm aware of the whole, like, Christian controversy back in the early 2000s. I mean, back in, you know, back when I was really engaged with, like, the whole Christian controversies, I wasn't really, you know, I haven't even heard of SMT, so, I mean, I probably heard of the controversy without even knowing it was about Nocturne. Ever since I've heard about Nocturne, I haven't actually looked into the controversy itself, though. Let's see what Acro's defense here is. What?
Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust?
Yeah, it was in the cafeteria. Of course I remember. It was on top of the... I cannot say the word table! What is wrong with me? Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria.
Then what happened to it?
I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself.
Ah, that means...
You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room?
Say that it teaches kids to summon demons and Satan? I mean, didn't they literally say the same thing about Pokemon? Right? They literally... I remember people talking about how Pokemon was about summoning demons and worshipping Satan. That I distinctly remember. Like... I read a great quote in the Shin Megami Tensei subreddit, and that's that, let me try to see if I can remember correctly. I believe the quote was, Shin Megami Tensei is what, Shin Megami Tensei is what boomers were scared that Pokemon was. I think that's how the quote went, but I might be slightly off on that. You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Technically, I said there was no accomplice because I needed that to move the trial ahead, but yes, there actually was an accomplice. It's just that you people wouldn't actually consider it an accomplice because you're too small brain. I mean, your father clearly considered parrots valuable witnesses enough to fucking retrain one. I still can't get fucking over that. The man retrained the man trained a parrot. Man fucking trained a parrot. Your thinking is too small, Von Karma. Let's see. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bus from the cafeteria. Yup, you definitely have a problem here. But there's no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about and prove how things happened once and for all.
All right, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bus from the cafeteria back to his room?
Okay. There are two possibilities here. One possibility is the monkey, which could have, you know, stolen the bust. I'm not sure, though. The bust is quite heavy, so I'm not sure what the monkey's carrying capacity is, for the sake of the gaming term, but, like, I mean, monkeys are pretty strong for their size, so... I suppose it could be the monkey, The other possibility is that it was Regina, because we know that Regina takes care of Acro, and that Acro, you know, she brings him stuff all the time and helps him, you know, go up and down the stairs and whatever. So it's possible that Acro could have asked her for the bust. She likely would have been innocent enough to, you know, not question his motives. And if my theory is right, and his, like, true intention was to kill Regina, you know, he could have, he would have had, you know, she wouldn't have been left as a witness. But since he actually killed the Ringmaster instead, Regina might be able to testify to this, and that's why Mo asked her to come along. But for now, I'm gonna go with the monkey, because I think that's the safest bet here.
A monkey?
Everyone knows Money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, that's right! Oh, where's the thing? Here we go. The bust does have a golden plaque, so... And, oh, I just noticed! The cards seem to be made out of some kind of shiny metal. Of course! It makes complete sense that Money would have taken this. I'm offended when Demi punched God in the face, not gonna lie, but it's a game, so what do you... Yeah, I mean, there are a few young Christians that are just as bad as the old ones. I mean, there's actually kind of been a resurgence recently of far right-wing young people in recent years, which has been interesting to see. But all right, let's see. Let's continue going.
Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist ring!
And my badge. And my actually, what did he steal from Gumshoe? I don't remember. Not important. So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course, we didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own and then brought it back home. Okay, so it's slightly different. I thought he may have actually trained the monkey to get it, but yeah, because the bust is actually really shiny, I'm actually kind of surprised the monkey didn't steal it earlier.
Home?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room?
But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record.
My, those are some very shiny cards he's holding.
Yes, and they are made out of platinum.
God damn, that is an expensive-ass bust.
Yes, and they are made of platinum, which is, yeah, okay. I already read that shit. Ah! Acro. Yeah, I mean, most gamer forms end up being cancer in one way or another. It's just, you know, the Christian ones tend to get, you know, pretty out there. Especially back in the, you know, whole satanic panic back in the early 2000s. God damn. Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bust back to your room.
If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
See, I like Acro. He's, you know, he's not gonna just lie about something that makes no sense to lie about.
Order! I said order! Miss Von Karma! Where is the bust in question at this moment?
I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. Started on the Pokemon X Christ BS? Oh yeah, the whole... That's the controversy that I'm most aware of, the whole satanic Pokemon shit. That's a classic.
This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as a murder weapon. Huh, wait. Then you mean this bust was a murder weapon purely by accident? I don't think so. I think the bust... Actually, that is true. Huh. That is very curious. I didn't think of it like that. Accidental murder weapons are 100% a thing. I mean, they happen all the time. You know, I mean, it happened in Ace Attorney before. It's happened in plenty of murder mysteries that I've seen and played. So yeah, money has a huge collection of items. The real question is, I mean, what was going to be Acro's, like, what was it? What was gonna be Acro's, like, scapegoat, right? Because the way I saw it, the bust was used specifically to create the illusion of Max flying over the crime scene, which would then help pin the blame on Max. If the bust was, but my contention with that was that I didn't see Acro as purposely trying to pin Max because he didn't seem to hold any ill will towards him. However, if the plan was never to, you know, frame Max from the very beginning and that just happened by accident, I don't see any reason why Acro wouldn't have taken his chance, you know? He doesn't seem to be, you know, against framing him, but he wasn't out to frame him. That's the key difference. That's what I missed. Ah, of course. Yeah, that does make sense. Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. But yeah, Nocturne I haven't actually looked into, like, the specifics of the Nocturne controversy, but I'm sure the Christian forums must have had a fucking field day with that. Holy shit. I mean, the whole rejecting God and, like, teaming up with Lucifer? Drink the wine of the wrath of God? Yeah. Alright, give me a second. I need to pop over to the bathroom real quick. I have had way too much water. I'll be back in probably, like, a minute. Alright, we're back. I think it's cool though, bro. I mean, wasn't there even more offensive stuff? I mean, probably the whole, you know, one more God rejected. That probably was a strong point of contention, I'd imagine. Also the whole, you know, the true demon ending as well. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron! King Moron, in fact. Rest in peace.
Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that.
Don't seem so bamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. So now you're just admit it, you've been beat by a fraud? How? I didn't know you had the modesty in you. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what is that? You should know. What, evidence? You forgot your fraud of a magic client was spotted at the scene of the crime. Oh, okay. No, he wasn't. There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
I'll stop shipping S&T Nocturne for a week in Arabic regions after winning the court case? Interesting. Nick, don't let her beat you now. I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. I mean, yeah, I'd imagine that's probably the case. I mean, the Arabic countries tend to be pretty, some of them at least,
tend to be pretty strict when it comes to the whole religion thing, you know? This is my chance to turn this trial around.
When the murder occurred, there were 2 people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw?
It was the bust.
Take that! He saw Max's bow! I asked who the other person Mo saw. I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. The evidence has nothing to do with the question. Au contraire, mon frère.
What? Phoenix breaking out the French? Damn!
It does indeed have something to do with the question.
Come on, someone say touche.
Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette.
But he did not actually say he saw the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. How is it possible?
It's simple, really. Mo actually saw the night. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak! There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off the cards in the bust's hands. Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak in a bust? It doesn't matter who put it on the bust!
Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of utmost importance to this case, don't you agree?
God damn it! Now he caught me. I tried to slip that one through.
So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust?
Damn. Well, it would probably be Acro, I'd have to assume. Let's see. We don't know what exactly happened with the cloak. Other than... Yeah, I don't know. Because Max had his cloak with him when he went to speak with the Ringmaster. However, then the Ringmaster was wearing the cloak. Yeah, if the Ringmaster was wearing the cloak, then how the fuck did it get on the bust? I thought maybe that, you know, Acro had put the cloak on the bust himself in order to further frame Max. But that makes no sense either because he didn't have the cloak. The cloak at the time was on the Ringmaster's shoulders. Damn! So who could it have been? It wasn't the Ringmaster, he was dead, but who else was there? It wasn't Max, obviously. Ben, I'm pretty sure we've established that he's got nothing to do with this. Regina wasn't there, because Ben would have seen her. He was dead afterwards. He was inside. It has to be Acro, right? Question is how? Take that! Huh, I wonder, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Didn't the defendant wear his cloak the entire time he was at practice? So then how did this person get a hold of the cloak? Well, furthermore, how would this person have gotten the cloak onto the bust, I wonder? Because this person was not spotted at the scene. I'm sorry. Damn it. Alright, I need a save here. Because this is getting intense. And there's a second part to this trial? God damn. When she's so nice about telling me I'm wrong, it hurts even more. Ah! But it hurts even more when she fucking whips me. The famous Von Karma carrot and whip approach. Famous, I guess.
So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust?
The bust was stolen. When was the bust stolen? before the crime, but we don't exactly know exactly when? Damn, if the bust was stolen before rehearsal ended, that would mean that the cloak must have been put on there either... Yeah, if the thing was stolen before rehearsal ended, Max was wearing his cloak until the end of rehearsal. If the bust was stolen before the rehearsal ended, the cloak must have been put on it at the scene of the crime, meaning the only person it could have been would have been Russell. But that doesn't make sense because Russell was fucking dead. If the bust was stolen afterwards, though, then it's possible that Regina placed it? I have to go with Russell. It makes no sense. But there's no one else who it could be.
Take that! Oh! Him? You were saying that it was the victim himself, Russell Berry?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the victim himself placed the cloak on the bust. Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it.
Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself.
Nick, do you really have a handle on all this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. So, are we insinuating that the cloak just happened to get on the bus by complete fucking accident? And here I thought Acro was just like this brilliant mastermind who had like planned this entire thing. I mean, that's usually how these things go. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy did it because he was like, he planned all this and this thing happened and then he planned this and he put this on to frame this guy and then he masterminded this whole thing like 200 gigabrain IQ play, and then I was like, no, actually half of that shit was coincidence and I have no right to have figured out the culprit that easily. God damn. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's fine for the, you know, people to have their own forms, you know. It's just... I mean, at the end of the day, everyone should be able to have their own forms, right? It's just, usually those types of forms end up being echo chambers that don't make for very productive discussion. Alright, but let's see where there's only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright, so you want to know what really happened that night. Let's step back in time. They're a damn hellhole? I mean, I would agree. I'm personally not religious, so I'm not exactly a fan of religion, but I have no problem with people having their forms. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached the rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the Ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time the Ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Right, that makes sense. The question is, what happened to the roses? Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he figured, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet Ben and Trillo. Right, up until this point it does make sense. The real question is Phoenix really gonna go with the approach that the bus just randomly happened to, like, that the cloak randomly happened to land on top of the bust? And if so, then what happened to the roses? Because the cloak that Mo saw didn't have any roses on it, but this one clearly does. By none, yeah, okay, good here. When the Ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Right? Oh, so from where he's sitting right there, he would have had more than enough, like, sight line to fucking see where the Ringmaster was. What the fuck?
Now this is when the magic happens. I mean, to be fair, pretty much every fucking forum on the internet turns out to be an echo chamber at some point or another. It's just, you know, religious forums tend to have more of an inclination, I guess you'd say. Now this is when the magic happens. At the very instant that the bus hit the victim, I refute. What the hell? You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix, right? As much as you can try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little too early to get upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. What? Question is, where did the roses go, though? The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. The impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Moe Curls, the clown. When Moe looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Okay. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Moe saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it, primarily because, in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out the window, so he just kept pulling the bust up. Right, as I predicted. And that is how the magical murderer disappeared into the night sky came to be. So, you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you. Maybe even he used his birds to commit the crime, who knows? This man is evil. Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So? What now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. Do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Evidence? In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip. Are there Christian discords? I mean, I'd assume there are. I don't see any reason why there wouldn't be.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well! Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Nick! Oh god, I choked on my own spit. Nick, they say they want some evidence. I just explained how there can be only one possible murder method. But there is still something unusual about Moe's eyewitness account. The lack of flowers. Thank you. Thanks for bringing this up. Unusual. A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam. Alright.
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claim. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case.
I mean, it has to be the promo poster, right? With the three symbols. The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses.
Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings.
Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Moe's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool! Do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime.
However, what Mo said yesterday, he testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat Mo saw was actually the bust's.
Makes sense. If you look at it this way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Objection!
Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction?
The other contradiction?
Remember what the ventriloquist said in court? Also, by the way, I'm perfectly fine with, people getting political in my stream chat. I talk about fucking political stuff in streams all the time, honestly. Remember what the ventriloquist said in court? He said they witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. See, my issue with the whole, COVID skeptics thing, and really a lot of conspiracy theories, is motive. I mean, I play a lot of murder mysteries, so motive is a huge thing, but like, let's say there is a sort of global Illuminati pulling the strings who are able to fake the existence of COVID, right? To what extent? There's even if we go by the assumption that, you know, everything is fake, no one actually died, the virus doesn't exist, why? Why would this massive Illuminati decide that they wanted to, you know, orchestrate a fucking conspiracy theory? I mean, there's no motive. And I'm not saying that there's... I'm just saying, even if we assume that, old people... I'm not saying that... when you say you're skeptical of COVID, are you skeptical of the existence of COVID itself? Or are you skeptical of, like, the mask, the social distancing, the whole vaccine stuff, like the actual methods used to contain the pandemic? The whole quarantine thing, but not COVID itself? Clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like you to try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Of course. I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged on the bust. The cloak snagged onto the bust. What happened to the white roses? Oh man, that's so sad to see. Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged on front of the bus... See, my issue with conspiracy theories is that they usually have no motive. Like, even if... Because, you know, obviously it's hard to, you know, prove that they exist or that they don't exist. But let's just assume they do exist. Why? Why? What would the politicians get out of, you know... You know, what would the politicians get out of trying to, you know, fake a virus? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust. I mean, I suppose that makes sense.
Order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. I highly doubt that. They want fucking control of our lives. They be making all the little businesses poor and buy them out. I mean, I guess I could see the whole about buying out the poor. I guess I could see that. The whole control of our lives thing, again, it doesn't... Like, the thing with the businesses, I guess, yeah, that is plausible. The thing with, like, they want control, they already have. I mean, You use the internet. You probably have a phone, right? You watch the news, everything. I mean, it's the same thing as people saying, oh yeah, the vaccines have a tracking chip. Like, if you have a phone, you already have a fucking tracking chip on your pocket at all times, right? Especially like say in the US with the Patriot Act. Like, they can fucking spy on literally everyone. So it's not like there's too much more control for them to get. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive! This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the Ringmaster. Yes, fucking finally we're getting to this. Already, I am 4 parallel universes ahead of you. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Talking about you not even allowed to leave your house, no more work, only digital currency? The thing is, right? They don't get anything out of that. Like the whole, yes, manipulating the economy thing, yeah, that I can see, but stopping people from leaving their homes in no way benefits the government, like, at all, right? Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there's absolutely no way someone like this would kill the Ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the Ringmaster and his life up until now. You're scared and behave more? But again, the thing is, to what end? There's plenty of ways to make people scared and behave, you know, that are better than literally almost self-destroying your own country. Like, yeah, it could be. I'm not ruling out that it's not possible. There's no evidence to say that it's not. But again, there's really, it just seems like way too much trouble for whatever, you know, ethereal benefit it might provide them, you know? What do we do? Yeah, shoot. Hey, there's no doubt that Acro deeply respected the Ringmaster. Acro's motive, huh? Do you wear a mask outside? Yes, I do.
It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well.
Outside of story areas you have to? Yeah.
However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess.
Because, I mean, at the end of the day, right? Even if I didn't believe that COVID existed, wearing a mask doesn't negatively impact me in any way. It's just a mild annoyance. You know? Like, I'm not actually harmed in any way by wearing a mask, and if there's even just a small chance that it could protect me from possibly getting infected with a possibly deadly virus, then I see no reason why not to wear it, you know? December 30th, 2:17 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 7. I can't believe it! Acro! It's pretty shocking, isn't it? Recommend Great Reset? I'm not actually familiar with the Great Reset. Government is fucking you over with everything. Oh yeah, that I can agree on. The government can go fuck itself, you know? It's just that the government, in my opinion, is too fucking incompetent to pull off any conspiracy theories. That's honestly my that's my number one reason. It's the whole, motive thing, but there's also the fact that the government, especially, I live in the US, so I've seen just how fucking incompetent and useless the government is.
There's no goddamn way they can actually be organized enough to pull off a conspiracy theory. Pretty shocking, isn't it?
It definitely is! And to think that he was always the most straightforward of the group! Jeebus! Am I that hated?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's perfectly natural and even beneficial to be skeptical of everything, right? I mean, I was skeptical. I mean, I know for a fact that certain hospitals are inflating COVID numbers in order to get more government funding. That's certainly a thing. The fact that corruption exists and that things might be overplayed, that's certainly true. But, you know, I just don't think that a large-scale conspiracy is even possible, honestly.
Jeebus! Am I that hated?
Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose?
He did?
Psst, psst, cough.
But I'm nothing but a little nobody, you know?
But you're not, which is kind of the reason why. Hey, pal. Hey, I gotta ignore me. I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence. Ah, Detective Gumshoe? Bringing us evidence. Nice. Gumshoe's on our side, finally. Good. Detective Gumshoe. Ah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. Now, Detective, I'm sorry, look. Why don't you relax a little? Got some real tasty milk.
What about a card trick, Detective?
Oh, well, if you insist. Now, how about the evidence you mentioned? What is it? Hey, here you go. Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room. Yup. I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later. Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? That's why it's all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis. And we're not really allies or anything, but everything that happened in court up until now is going according to our plan. I don't know. Miss Von Karma doesn't seem in control of things in there just now. Yeah, you'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion. Final plans? What is this, like, Giga Brain shit she's trying to pull now? She trying to live up to, like, her daddy's Giga Mind? Yeah, that reminds me. I got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. That's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here. Okay. What did he mean by that? The very end part? I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Ah, don't scare me like that. It looks like there's a large care package for the circus from the defendant.
What? For me?
It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils, pal.
The entire diary's worth of milk. For me?
Oh, he must be one happy Max. Damn. See, my whole stance on the mask thing is that there is literally no negative to wearing a mask. But there is a possible positive. Even if you don't believe that it 100% exists, even if there's a chance that it exists, it's still, you know, better to wear a mask than to not because it doesn't provide any negatives at all. December 30th, 2:27 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 2. Alright, let's see.
Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please, continue from where you left off.
I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit to this crime.
Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Hey, Nick, are you ready? Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Alright. I am, I'm gonna go. I didn't know this trial was gonna be this long. So I'm gonna go make myself some tea so that my voice doesn't die. I'll be back in probably 5 minutes. So yeah, expect me back at like, maybe like, yeah, I'll be back in like 5 minutes, guys. So yeah, I'll be right back.
Alright, I have returned. Looks like the conversation is still going on strong. I need to add a chat widget to the be right back screen. Damn. I never thought I'd have to do that. But here we are. Okay, we're not gonna be doing the next investigation, this time. We're just gonna be finishing up the trial today, so I didn't see a necessity to make a full fucking pot, so I just made one, cup. It's a fucking large-ass cup, but it's one cup. And usually when I do one cup, I go with Twinnings, which has a much sharper, stronger taste, but, yeah. Alright, let's see. About the Ringmaster. When you were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the Ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the Ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. Yeah, well, you weren't trying to kill the Ringmaster. You were trying to kill his bitch-ass daughter, you know? That is perfection. Holy shit. I'm gonna leave that to steep a little bit more, hopefully. Okay.
You're such a thoughtful young man.
As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. You want to do Dark Souls after? Sure. Once I'm done with this, sure, I'll join your Dark Souls. I'll probably have to leave early, but sure, I can do that. I wonder how anyone could think that Acker would kill the man he held in such high esteem.
You are absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for cross-examination, is there?
Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the Ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer the question. Let's cross-examine. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness.
Alright. Abandoned by our parents. Ringmaster took us in. Became an acrobat around 9 years old. Find a way to repay the Ringmaster's sole purpose in life. Right. Did you ever have any trouble with the Ringmaster? Let's see, are you cold enough to drink yet? Oh, that is so good. Jesus Christ. Did you ever have any trouble with the Ringmaster? Ow! How can you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You'd better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard.
Ow! 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 No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life.
Yep, that's what we needed to progress. Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them. I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk. What do you think, Nick? I don't know. I think the more I cross-examine him, the worse I end up looking in the end. You mean? I get the feeling this cross-examination was a trap. Yeah, Von Karma set you up again. Abandoned by parents. We. Yes. My brother Sean and I. Alright, okay, let's start digging into him about the incident. Good, this is the right approach. What?
What? You have a brother?
How old were you when this happened, Acro?
I was 8 years old and my brother was 4. Your parents were very cruel, weren't they? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because that allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the Berry Big Circus.
Alright, I think it's steeped enough, honestly. Okay, let me just toss away the tea bag, there we go.
So I will, because it'll, okay, we already read that.
Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed.
Got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like.
He's always being way too sentimental.
Ow!
No crying in court. Let's keep going.
The witness may proceed with his testimony, though it is rather sad. That's when the ringmaster, yep.
How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster?
I mean, honestly, I'm enjoying the conspiracy theory discussion. I'm always up for that kind of shit. But yeah, a little bit of variety can't hurt anyone. He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster was my brother. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about the other people at the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were a few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile.
What a beautiful story.
That's why I always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him.
Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? I know, he seems like a nice guy, which makes it so fucking difficult to accuse him of murder.
So how long have you been a performer?
9 years old. Right, that makes sense. You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age?
I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape.
How is conspiracy theorist an offensive term? I mean, like, a conspiracy is just a word for, like, a big, like, hoax, right? I mean, and then a conspiracy theorist is just someone who theorizes or, you know, partly believes in certain conspiracies. Conspiracy theories is a very factual description. It's not exactly a very loaded one, is it?
Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dingling Berries. It was a household name.
I've never heard of them in Germany.
Liar. The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus.
I mean, that's not what theory means. I mean, every single believed, like, for example, the theory of evolution I'm a physics major, right? Literally everything in physics is theories, right? Like, the theory of gravitation, right? That's not to say that it doesn't fucking exist. Everyone knows that the theory of gravitation is real, but it's still a theory, you know? So, I mean, because calling it a theory is not exactly saying that it's not true. It's saying that it could be true.
But it's what I wanted to be. The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus. You are truly a remarkable young man!
The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father.
Huh. I think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely.
Yes, but he couldn't actually see who he was killing. Exactly right, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to Acro would want the Ringmaster dead?
No, because he didn't. Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the Ringmaster is something that can't be proven.
What?
That's because Acro had no reason to kill the Ringmaster at all. Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools are so foolhardily foolish! Did you forget? You made the accusations against the witness, did you not? I believe it was. This is the real killer of Russell Berry, Ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right.
The end of things?
Acro, you didn't plan to kill the Ringmaster at all, did you? The Ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the Ringmaster. Yeah. I will take the vaccine, yeah. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. What?
Order, order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is! Smack anyone who's loud in the face! Twice if you must! Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Now!
Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to this court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else?
Yes.
Regina Berry.
This young girl is the Ringmaster's daughter, correct?
Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
Objection!
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question. He could easily answer this question. See, okay. The thing with the vaccine is, at the end of the day, right? The vaccine cannot be more harmful than the virus. Physically due to the nature of what a vaccine is, by definition, it cannot be as more harmful than the virus. Because a vaccine contains the virus, usually dumbed down in some way for your body's immune system to get used to it. So at the end of the day, even if the vaccine is completely fucking broken, at most, that's just like getting the coronavirus. But at best, it means, you know, not getting infected with the coronavirus ever. So I see no reason not to take it. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is, you're wrong. That's it. That's it? Huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough! Mr. Wright, allow me to... Ow!
The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself! Nah. The thing is, right? Old people are already at massive risk from the coronavirus, right? And the vaccine contains the virus. So it makes perfect sense that the vaccine, might end up causing some harmful effects, especially to people in high risk. But to someone who doesn't have those risk conditions, it's not in any way worse than getting the virus itself, you know? In fact, it's much easier, and I trust the science on this. The media can go fuck itself, I don't care, but I do trust the science. Only thing allowed to interrupt is death itself! Huh? And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright! Show me evidence! Now! I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry! See, the thing is, we have more evidence of COVID killing people than of the vaccine killing people. Therefore, it feels kind of disingenuous to me to argue that COVID is not a reason for concern, but the vaccine is, when we have more evidence of COVID being harmful than of the vaccine being harmful. You know? It seems kind of contradictory to me.
Yes, me too! I demand some proof! Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill the young girl!
It's the note.
Take that!
Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the Ringmaster's tailcoat.
Inside the victim's tailcoat?
Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, To the Murderer. Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. See, the thing with the whole mainstream media thing is that, like, yeah, okay, if we have the mainstream media saying that, like, people are dying of COVID and the vaccine is safe, yeah, okay. I see no reason to believe that, but COVID reports are coming in from all over the world, from all different outlets, from all different governments. There is, you know, like if it was just, you know, one outlet or maybe one country that was peddling the bullshit, that makes sense. But the thing is, for the entire world to be in on it is physically impossible. Humanity is way too fucking dumb to orchestrate something on that scale. Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m.
So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note?
Yes, but there's just one little problem.
Problem?
Acro did indeed place his note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the Ringmaster. And hell, even if I was unsure of whether the vaccine is good or not, I'll fucking take it anyways. Because there's no better way to find out than by doing it yourself. I am a man of science, so hell yeah, I'll be the test subject. I don't care. You mean it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry.
Order! Mr. Wright! This little theory of yours!
It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why the morning of the crime scene, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, the Ringmaster, saw the note. See, the thing is, there's no reason to believe the people saying that the vaccine is safe. But there's also no reason to believe the people saying that the vaccine is not safe, so I'd rather just find out on my own. That's correct. The Ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake instead of Regina.
That's incredible!
Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. Sure, maybe I'll regret it, but I'm willing to regret it for the sake of science. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was.
I've got it! Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza!
And that's when he let the bust fly. Hey, Nick! Is it Regina listening to all of this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it. Why though? Because you can't prove anything that you're saying. It's as simple as that.
Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Objection!
Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish you even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Felix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this. I have conclusive evidence of what took place.
Yes, what about that line?
Well, if the note was meant for Regina Berry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Berry was a murderer.
You just don't get it, do you?
What did you just say?
I am 4 parallel universes ahead of you.
The Ringmaster knew what that note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter.
See, the thing is, not every vaccine ever has been tested for years. The only reason vaccines are tested for years is because of health standards, which are imposed by the government, by the way. So, if we're talking about the government being bad, there you have it. All I'm saying is, before health standards were even a thing, vaccines were developed much quicker than they are today. There's no reason to believe that we couldn't develop a vaccine fast enough. Especially, you know, with the, what's it called? Fuck, I'm struggling to find my words here. Like, yeah, we have the COVID isn't the first coronavirus there ever has been. I mean, there's a reason why it's called COVID-19. It's not the first one. We know them. We are knowledgeable with them. We understand how they work. So it makes sense that we'd be able to build off of that and be able to create a vaccine much faster than for something completely unknown that we were just having to figure out on the go. I don't think it's that out there, honestly.
Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note?
Also, the flu vaccine? The reason why you have to take the flu vaccine every year is because it's fucking different every year. Because the flu is constantly evolving, so the vaccine is constantly evolving. We literally make flu vaccines in under a year, so I don't think it's that far-fetched for something like the coronavirus to also be able to be done in a rather short time, especially since the entire medical and scientific community are basically united on finding a vaccine for like the past 6 months. Why is it so dangerous? You mean the virus or the vaccine? Because the vaccine, from what I've seen, it's not actually that dangerous. I mean, there's a couple of reports, but they're not exactly very trustworthy and not exactly very numerous. And if you're talking about the virus, well, it's dangerous because knowing something doesn't mean we can cure it.
What is the incident that is alluded in this note?
The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I am more than ready to show this court what happened at that time. Moron!
Wait! Are you sure that it relates to the present case?
It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Alright. Here's my contention with what you're saying, right? You're saying that the news sources that I read are faulty. Okay. That's a premise I can work with. How do you know that the news sources you use aren't faulty? Because there's no reason to believe that your news sources are more reliable than mine, you know? Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so?
Come on, Nick, you're smarter than this. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer the question, the judge is going to think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is... the pepper.
Take that!
I believe I've caught the coronavirus now.
What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix, right? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for.
What do you mean?
Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away from him? He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence was what was inside.
Another unbelievable conclusion! Very well, Mr. Wright. What exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Berry was killed? Someone with a small pepper bottle?
Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw.
Objection!
Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim? Oh, sure, we can talk. Yeah, let's do... Let's do the, let's take a scientific approach to this. We'll be the test subjects and we'll report back to you. Yeah? Yeah, it's not available to us yet, but I'll report as soon as I get it. Don't worry about it.
Take that!
Who is this?
This is Acro's younger brother.
Objection!
What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead? Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro would feel that his brother's dead.
Regina! She did that to him!
Do you spend your entire life dreaming up of new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state.
Lion?
Miss Regina Berry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They would understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her.
So then what happened to Acro's brother?
He's not the victim of the attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident.
I see!
Now, what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? I think it was. I firmly believe it wasn't a dedicated hit. Again, to quote with, oh! Bat's scarf stained with blood and a small quantity of pepper. There we go. Again, I don't think it was intentional, but I believe it was Regina. Fuck, what was it that, Acro said? He said that she's like an animal. She's cruel because she's innocent. Right. Alright. Think what bad happened was actually an accident? I'm gonna say it was. I suppose it was truly an accident. It's essential that a man knows when to give up, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
It's impossible to prove Miss Berry's involvement in the murder attempt, isn't it?
Ha! Instigating a lion to attack. Who ever heard of something like that? To think that the defense claimed this was conclusive evidence. small bottle of pepper, a lion. What's their connection? Yeah, the lion fucking sneezed. Ah! Oh, he finally figured it out. Phoenix, you fucking did it. Big brain Phoenix. What's the matter, Nick? I figured it out. Wow, it was right in front of my nose the entire time. Your Honor, wait.
What is it?
The lion-biting bat was no accident at all.
What?
You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There's no way that Regina could ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother Bat. Okay, that's what I meant with it was an accident. She didn't mean. Okay, but fine game. We're just phrasing shit differently.
Take that!
That's just a scarf.
Acro? This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct?
That's right.
And who is the one who gave this scarf to Bat?
Regina. Regina gave it to him.
Regina?
And there's something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor.
And what might that be?
Pepper.
Pepper?
Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment? Why am I getting poked by a fucking bird?
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal. But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that?
It's still like the judge just doesn't get it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? The lion was smiling?
Right before Bat was bit by the lion, for a moment the lion's mouth changed and looked like he was smiling.
Lions smile? That's new to me. I watch Animal Planet all the time.
I've never heard of them smiling. However, lions sneeze.
What?
Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he did was sneeze. He sneezed because all of the pepper on the scarf.
What?
You fool!
You've got to be kidding me! What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object for objection's sake. Mr. Wright, his theory, you believe it? You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to his accident, or this joke, as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot!
It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true?
Acro? You don't mean? You can't mean witness!
Are you confirming the defense's claim?
Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to prove me guilty of murder.
What do you mean by that?
The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory.
Oh, what would that problem be?
The same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I dropped Max's bust on top of the Ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves that claim?
Ah!
You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof, to be more precise.
The murder weapon?
The bust that the defense claims was used? If that were to be found in Acro's room, and if it were covered in the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
The bust. Nick, we've got to do something. It's the last step. I get this one's right. The case is won. Okay, let's think about this. So Acro pulls the statue up and pulls it back into his room. That makes sense. From there, where does the bust go? If the bust stays in his room, then a search of his room will be enough, but I don't think he would be that stupid, you know? The question is, where did the bust go? Acro went to visit back, didn't he? He actually left his room, and we have testimony from Regina confirming that he left his room after the day after the murder, during the first investigation. We're not gonna find jack shit in his room. Might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but why aren't you going to search his room? It looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know the true magnitude of Von Karma total justice. I guess. I figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned. Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday.
What did you find?
There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point to it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for.
You see, Mr. Wright, the bust wasn't in my room.
Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise, and we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this.
It looks like you lack the final nail to put it in my coffin.
But what about the scarf? What about the note?
What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the Ringmaster. You should know that by now.
But okay, again, this goes back to my point, Demi-Fiend. How can you call that credible, right? Because you can say that the mainstream media is not credible all you want, and sure, okay, I can agree with you on that. The mainstream media lies all the time. But how do you know that Telegram doesn't lie as well? Because in my experience, you can't believe anyone. Do something, Nick. Don't let this case slip away. Oh, okay. Later, Demi-Fiend. Hope to see you again, some other time. I'll be playing, more Ace Attorney on Thursday. I'll be starting 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors tomorrow, and we'll be back with Persona Sunday. Hope to see you there. It was great having you. It was a great conversation. The bust. Where is it now? Huh, where's the bust right now? You're Phoenix right. You know where the bust is. I'm sure you do. Not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is?
It seems the case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short.
Thank you for your support.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I think that brings an end to the cross-examination of the witness.
No. Who is it? Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its lace. I mean, Case, I'm sorry, I'm a bit nervous. I just bit my tongue. Oh, come on, Maya. Don't worry, you're doing great. Ah! You are the most surprised person here. She's your age, isn't she?
Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright?
What? Are you asking me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Hey, wait! You can't be serious. You can't just throw that shit out there and expect me to come. Oh my god. Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Yep. Very well, the defense may proceed.
Look, Owen, I agree with you here, but your argument is completely fucking stupid, okay? Your argument shouldn't be that it's a messaging site. Your argument should be that how can you say that it is more credible than, say, I don't know, the BBC, right? I don't give two shits that it's a messaging app, and no one actually gives a shit what type of app it is.
Very well, the defense may proceed.
That's real. I mean, at the end of the day, calling it a messaging app, that's just semantics and doesn't actually aid the conversation in any manner. But yeah, but calling it a messaging app doesn't prove your fucking point, retard!
He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon.
Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim. The only way through is forward. The murder weapon! Where is Max's bust now? Somewhere in this courtroom, somewhere in the big top, somewhere in this... Okay, somewhere in the lodging house. Let's take a look at the circus map. I don't know where he could hide it in the lodging house. That seems like a bit of a stretch. As for the actual big top, again, it's pretty fucking open. I don't think he could have hid it there. In this courtroom? I mean, I guess it's time to walk the tightrope here. It's obvious. The bust is inside this very courtroom.
It's obviously where?
Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust, once and for all. The prosecutor's van to the witness. Ah, right. If he has it, like, inside his wheelchair, like, are his legs, like, covered or something? I don't know. I don't remember his whole thing. It's currently on the witness stand. Acro? I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? There we go, yeah. I wasn't sure if there was a blanket on his wheelchair. I thought there may have been. I wasn't 100% sure on it. That's why, but I thought there might have been, so that's why I picked it, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, okay, we're good. We figured it out.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright.
Well, you are a big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Oh no! He's got fucking Max Galactica's bust sucking his cock as we speak right now! Who would have thought? The plot twist! Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, hide a bust under there. I mean, no, Kami, you're not exactly one to talk. I mean, your arguments weren't exactly the most good faith either, you know? Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheadedness doesn't change the fact the bust is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. See, the thing with me, I don't trust any single news source. I don't trust BBC, I don't trust CNN, I don't trust Fox News, I don't trust MSNBC. But when all the fucking news sources, every single one, is saying the goddamn same thing, at that point, you have to start thinking that there might be a connection, some kind of correlation maybe. Because, again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, humanity is too fucking stupid to actually coordinate something so large scale across multiple news networks, multiple countries, multiple continents. Our government and news systems do not function nearly well enough for that to function without leaks, without contradictions. It's just not feasible for it to happen. But again, can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. Okay, yeah, but see, the thing is, right? We literally know they aren't. Because, like, for example, CNN and Fox News are saying different stuff all the fucking time. Even when it comes to coronavirus. Originally, Fox News was saying coronavirus didn't even exist, while CNN was saying it did. Later on, Fox News changed it up and saying corona does exist, it's just not a problem. Then they changed it up again to say it does exist and it is a problem. If they were literally in cahoots, they would have had their fucking story straight from the very beginning. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it in the only place that you could hide it. Alright, what do you want me to assume? I'm fine with assumptions. They're the basis of any good hypothetical argument. Which is why you had to hide it in the only place that you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Alright, so let's say COVID isn't a pandemic. What then? How do we follow from there? What is it they're doing right now? Creating a vaccine to try to stop the pandemic, but if there isn't a pandemic... Yeah, that's what I'm doing. If we say that there isn't a pandemic, right? Oh, I mean, we can say that they're making a vaccine for a pandemic that doesn't exist, but again, they have no reason to do that. We could also say that they're putting lockdowns and for a pandemic that doesn't exist, which again makes no sense because it literally benefits them in no way. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blankets from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played.
fool! How could you?
Because I'm smarter than you. It's as simple as that, Von Karma. You realize for a sec, it would be a crime against humanity if they were doing it so that people What? But again, what motive? So let's assume that let's assume that the corona doesn't exist, the pandemic isn't real. What is the purpose of the vaccine? There is no point. We've literally spent the last, hour and a half talking about motive. It would pay off big time money and control the people? Okay, first of all, control the people, that's just bullshit. There's so many easy ways for the government to control everything you do and that don't involve a vaccine. That doesn't control people in any way. As for money, they're losing money on the vaccine. You know how much money it costs to develop a fucking vaccine and then to roll it out? They're losing money on this shit. And so I don't see the payoff. There is literally no payoff.
You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, two of them. Miss Franziska Von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What?
There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were two pieces of decisive evidence. The cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know? But the bust. Obviously, I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you?
And okay, sure. Let's say, right? Let's say that Germany was actually using this whole thing to try to stop people from protesting. Okay, so Germany has a motive. Okay, good. We've got Germany in on the global conspiracy. So what's the US doing? Because in the US, it's most definitely not illegal to protest, and hell, the current party in power, the Republican Party, have been constantly going against coronavirus. So again, for this to work, it needs to be a global thing. It doesn't work if it's just 2 or 3 countries. It has to be global. And that's the crux of the issue. It's just too many inconsistencies, too many maybes. Even if you were to say that Germany and Italy did it, again, Germany and Italy can't make a global fucking conspiracy. They're 2 countries. There are hundreds of countries. You know? There are too many moving parts in the global societal civilization, whatever the fuck, for something that big scale to actually work.
Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma.
Okay. This is starting to feel like the fucking Patrick Star meme. Trump and the Republicans, who are currently in power in the United States, okay? Trump and the Republicans are currently in power in the United States. Trump and the Republicans tried to downplay the coronavirus, right? Therefore, how can the United States be in on the conspiracy if the government literally tried to downplay it? You'd expect they try to do the same thing else. And also, by the way, calling something a conspiracy isn't an insult. A conspiracy doesn't mean it's false. A conspiracy simply means that there's a group of people doing something in the shadows. It could either be true or false. It makes no judgments on the claim's truthfulness. It's just on the type of claim.
So, you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma.
It all makes sense now.
I can't believe that Miss Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. You definitely couldn't tell just by looking at her. I know I sure could. I know I sure couldn't. I can't believe it. Me? Make a mistake? Why did I order a surprise search of your room? Only I hadn't done that.
It seems that we've finally arrived at the truth. Acro.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you kill the ringmaster of the very big circus, Mr. Russell Berry?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime.
Acro?
All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way.
We will! From the evidence that I've seen, and the information that I have, and the deductions that I can make, I believe that taking the vaccine is the right thing to do. And I'm not just going to not take it because some random dude on Telegram told me that it's gonna give me like mercury poisoning or something. Yeah, I know that you're like arguing good faith, and that's why I haven't called you a fucking retard and told you to fuck off, which is what I would have done if you had been arguing in bad faith. So, you know, I appreciate the open discourse. It was fun. It certainly made this stream very entertaining.
That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way.
And that's why she covered the scarf with paper.
I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star.
Why did Demi leave though? I don't think he left because he was pissed. I think he probably just had to go.
Her brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely that she would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently.
I don't think he was angry. He just said he had to leave. He may have been angry. Again, I can't prove whether or not, but I don't think so. I think he was just, you know, had to go or something.
I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried.
So that's when you decided to do something about Regina. How dreadful.
So are you saying you were a victim in all of this as well?
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, he's crying.
I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am.
Oh, you guys weren't lying! This just got sad all of a sudden! Shit!
At first, I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't, not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet.
Yeah, can we get some crying emojis in the chat for Acro, my man, Acro?
This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself.
I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You beat me again?
I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Not guilty.
God damn, Max's hair is magnificent.
I dream to have hair like that one day. This court is adjourned. Oh, give me a second. All right, we're back. Well, you gonna join my stream for a bit? Yep. My plans for the evening have been actually canceled as of 2 seconds ago. So yes. How about you do some Dark Souls, my man? You thought Acro wasn't guilty? Yeah, he should be on his Twitch channel. I believe there should be a link on our YouTube channel's about page to his link channel. To link channel? What the fuck am I saying? To his Twitch channel.
This court is adjourned.
Ah. Who did you think it was, Narukami? December 30th, 4:27 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby, number 5. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be happy about this. Acro, the Ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? It's a good question, and I don't know the answer to. I mean, Regina was a bitch, but the other 3 I can agree on.
Many congrats, but only a max, 1,000,000 of them.
Thank you. Literally, the Acro was just innocent? Ah. I was, I mean, I wasn't too sure of it during the investigation. I was still putting the pieces together. But when I actually put my head down, like, literally an hour before this stream started, I just was like, I just thought about all the evidence, tried to build an image and a timeline of how the crime went down, and there was really no other person it could have been other than Acro. And I was actually, like, almost spot on the money. I got a couple of things wrong. I thought that Acro had prepared the cape being on the bust on purpose. That was an accident. And I thought that the Ringmaster had gone out, and I focused on, fuck, what am I saying? I can't English today. I thought that the Ringmaster had gone out because he thought the note was directed at himself, but, the note was focused on himself. Right, okay. The 2 errors that I made was, A, I thought that the cape on the bust was all part of Acro's plan. It wasn't. That just happened to be coincidence. And the other thing was that I thought that the Ringmaster had gone out because he thought the note was addressed to himself. He actually went out because he knew what was going to happen, and he didn't want it to, you know, his daughter to end up dead, so it makes it even more sad. But as for the actual mechanics of the crime, I basically had it spot on, which I was honestly kind of slow on this one. I usually I pick up on stuff like that a bit earlier, but I guess I didn't meet Acro before then, so I couldn't know, you know? But yeah, from the second I saw the bust, I started suspecting that the bust was actually what Mo had seen, and then after actually, you know, putting my head together, I figured it out.
What's with the vibe in this room?
We're just thinking about Acro.
No. If you worry about people too much, then you'll be like this forever, and never be happy.
Huh? That's pretty good advice. One person is in a coma, one person is dead, and one person is in jail for murder because of you. You fucking bitch, I despise you.
He's been like this for a while now.
It's all my fault!
Sweetie pie.
Acro, I'm never coming back! No, everyone's gonna split up!
Regina?
Mr. Wright, tell me something.
What do you want to know, Regina?
Acro said something right at the end.
I just couldn't hurry up and leave yet. Yeah, the Ace Attorney games are fantastically written. I believe, so far I've only seen, alright, yeah. See you tomorrow, see you later, Narukami. Maybe you'll be able to make it tomorrow to the 9 persons, 9 hours, 9 doors stream. I said that completely wrong, but I'm very excited for that game. But yeah, in my time playing Ace Attorney, I think I've only picked up on one, like, mistake, like, in the writing. It was during Rise from the Ashes, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was towards the end of Rise from the Ashes, where one of the facts didn't line up, and you know, I looked it up, and some people had the same bug with it, so yeah. There's only been one, like, inconsistency that I've seen with these games, so far they've been expertly written, and I can appreciate that a lot. I just couldn't up and leave yet. I love when a game is, you know, I can actually, you know, put my mind to it and figure it out really easily.
Does that mean that Acro, is he gonna try and get his revenge on me?
Of course he is! No, at this point I think he's figured out that what he's done is wrong and that he shouldn't have done it, so even though I want to torture her, I don't think he will. He's not gonna try to do that to you, Regina.
Are you sure? You're really sure? I can believe that?
Yep. Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore.
That's true. And I want to see some evidence.
Huh?
I want to know you're not just making stuff up about Acro not wanting revenge.
Huh. Photo Silk, Cat, Ringmaster's Papers, Maxi promo poster, Broken Bottle, Circus Map, Money, The Monkey, Leon, Russell's. Fuck! I don't even know what to do here. I mean, I suppose it would have been the fucking, his testimony earlier, right? Him saying that he was nothing more than a murderer? But if we actually have to post fucking evidence, god fuck me. Silk Hat. Papers, promo poster, Broken Bottle, Circus Map. Monkey, Leon. Over the head. I don't fucking know, man.
Take that!
What about this? Now do you understand there's no need to worry?
You're lying to me. No one ever tells me the truth. No one ever tells me what's going on.
Ah, looks like I made a mistake with this one. Poor Regina.
Hey, Max!
What is it, Mo?
I really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened.
Hey, Mo's a good guy. I like Mo.
Oh, whatever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract.
I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now?
Ah, that's the big question. The Ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision.
What is it?
I've decided that I will take over as the new Ringmaster.
Hell yeah! I can totally believe that Mo is perfect for this.
I'll turn this circus into the best circus the world has ever seen.
The best circus the world has ever seen?
Oh, don't laugh.
That's quite a goal.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Then I guess that changes things.
Huh?
There's only one thing the best circus in the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusionist, which means this circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen.
Max!
Let's work together and make the circus super fabulous! What do you say, big guy?
I don't know what to say. All I can say is, thank you, Max.
Regina, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you? I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me.
What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you to this court today? We've got to work together to make the Berry Big Circus bigger than it has ever been. And barrier as well.
No.
Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the Berry Big Circus without Regina Berry.
Max! Nick!
It seems like everything is going to turn out all right in the end.
I can't wait to see the best circus the world has ever seen.
We'll save you the most fabulous seats.
It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm gonna order special whoopee cushion seats.
Oh, I love Mo so much. He's fantastic. I loved this case. This was fantastic. I see. What made the case? Hey, yesterday's surprise raid, it really paid off, just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you? It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Intriguing. Especially if he was the defense attorney. Hey, you mean Mr. Wright? That's Edgeworth. It has to be Edgeworth. Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acker's case, you need not worry. Go on, show it to me! Show it to me! You plan to first... Yes! Yes! Oh, fuck! That's... I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes! Holy fuck, yes! Oh, I've never been so excited in my entire fucking life! I'm sure... Farewell, my turnabout! My mind is blown! Holy fuck! Okay! So, when Gumshoe brought me the evidence, I thought, master plan, what is he up to? Like, is Franziska actually helping us out? And then when Acro was like, you two did great, and I thought, oh yeah, Franziska did help us out. But then she was like, no, I fucking didn't. I got fucking played. And then when the second he referred again, of course, Edgeworth. The second he refers, especially if he is the defense attorney, of course, he knows that Phoenix Wright has got the sauce. Oh man! The second he said that, I knew exactly who it was, and he was wearing a nice-ass blue suit! Oh my god, Edgeworth is back! Oh, I'm so excited! Oh, I'm so unbelievably excited for this, you have no fucking clue! Oh my lord! Save that. Farewell, my turnabout. Jesus fucking Christ! Okay. Wow. Alright, let's restart the game so that it doesn't take us into the next case. And then I need to cool down and debrief here, because holy shit, man. Holy shit. Okay, can we get the menu theme going? There we go. Alright. Wow, that was... I really liked that case. I really liked that one. Like, let's see, I mean, it was certainly better than the first one. The first one had a good villain, I'll give it that. Other than that, it was trash. The second one, though... Fuck, what was the second one? Second one was... yeah, the Fae. The second one was actually pretty good. But no, Turnabout Big Top, that was amazing. That was so good. The whole thing with Acro and Bat and the sad backstory, they played it so well. And the actual murder plot itself was really well put together. I love... Something that I love is whenever something ridiculous is happening, you know? It happened in the first Ace Attorney game with Turnabout Samurai. You know, the fucking, Steel Samurai costume going around. It happened here with this, and it's happened some other times in like one of my favorite cases in all of Danganronpa is another case where something equally ridiculous happened. I love that sort of shit, where the case is just so over the top and ridiculous, but at the end of the day, it all makes sense and it works out. Oh, that was so good! And Acro's character was fantastic. I mean, from the moment I met him, I loved him. And of course, Max. Max might probably be one of my favorite character in this game so far, and then Mo had he started off like a really annoying clown, but had this amazing character arc, and of course, Edgeworth coming in clutch at the end with a crucial piece of evidence. Like our mysterious benefactor, ensuring that the true killer is always found. He might not be a prosecutor anymore, but he's still punishing criminals like he should. Oh god, I love him so much. Now maybe he'll come back and Phoenix and him can finally kiss for once. That'd be something. But yes, man, I am satisfied. I've seen enough. I'm satisfied. I'm gonna end this right here. I'm gonna ride out this high. I'm just gonna end it on the high. I don't want to keep talking anymore and ruin it. But that was fantastic. I was basically spot on my theory, which is always good. And yeah, woo! We will be continuing Ace Attorney on Thursday, where we will be heading into Farewell My Turnabout. Oh! If Turnabout Goodbyes is anything to go by, this is going to be amazing. My body is ready. My body is ready. So yeah, if you want to see more Ace Attorney, make sure to tune in on Thursday, because I expect this is about to go wild. And if you want to check out some of our other stuff, Mangled Gamer, also known as Owen, is going to be streaming Dark Souls on his Twitch channel shortly, apparently. So yeah, go check him out. I believe his Twitch channel is... Let me try to see if I can find it. Nah, he put it on the chat earlier, but I can't find it now. Yeah, there we go. Shaft Cat on Twitch. So yeah, go check him out. And then every Sunday we do Persona. We're currently playing Persona 4, so yeah, make sure to tune in on that. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm gonna be starting a new series, 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, from the Zero Escape series, which I've heard is a fantastic series that I'm gonna love. So I'm very excited for that. So yes, subscribe if you don't want to miss anything. And it's been great to have you. This has been an experience. And especially fucking talking about conspiracy theories while trying to solve a murder. I don't know. I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Thank you for being here. And I know they've already left, but thank you for you. And thank you to you and Demi Fiend for that fantastic discussion we had. And yeah, later, guys. Thanks for being here.